Hey guys, this is Oscar, Senior Software Engineer from Motive Solutions. Today I would like to show you or demo a small set of use cases that we have for our AI content manipulator. Keep in mind that this content manipulator is going to be able to use any of the sources or destinations, any of the connectors that ImpulseSync supports. So basically, it is bringing AI capabilities to any tool that we support. So let's jump to the first example that we have today. The first case that we are going to solve here is the summary of some ESPN articles. So let me just show you how the content looks like. So for example, we have three ESPN articles right now. Some articles about Travis Kelsey and the Taylor Swift relationship, some of Atlanta Braves, and also some soccer news from Lionel Messi. Let me just go into one. For example, for each one, we have titles and we have a body. It is a very basic article. And then we have a special field, a summary. And this field, it's what our AI content manipulation is going to generate its value and it's going to save in here. This is the space A, basically is our source endpoint, and we are going to send everything from here to the space B, that is our target endpoint. Again, this could be any tool or any connector that we support. Let's go back to the contents and let's go to the Impulse UI. Here, as you can see, we have three different jobs. Each of these jobs is going to be a different use case, but let me just start by running all of the jobs while I explain you what we are doing. And it is very simple to configure this AI manipulator, AI content manipulator. Okay, so it is running now. Let's go into each of the jobs. So for example, let me explain you the ESPN article Impulse. Yeah. If we go to the configuration of this job and let's jump into the content manipulation. As you can see here, we have the content type that we are going to use. This is the ID of the content type ESPN article. We are going to apply this every time that we transform one content to notation and then that notation to content. This is the OpenAI token that we are going to use. The field ID is the one, this is the ID of the field that we want to put our data, our AI generated data in there. And then we have the prompt. Basically, the prompt is what we want to use or what we want to do with the data that we have in that content. So for example, as you can see, we can use the field IDs of the content that we already have. So for example, we have this prompt that it says, please create a summary of the following article in less than 100 words. So, and this is going to be placed under the summary, right? So let's go back to return jobs. It seems like this job already finished. So let's go to the target endpoint and let's go to the content. We can visit here. As you can see, these were updated a minute ago. Let's go into each of these ones. For example, Lionel Messi returns for Miami loss. This is the original title, original body. But as you can see here, we are putting a summary. Inter Miami playoff hopes, Lionel Messi return, and everything is in there. Let's go to the other ones, the Braves, the Atlanta Braves. This is another summary of that. And then we also have a small summary of the Travis Kelsey and the Taylor Swift news. As you can see, this was created by the AI and it was placed in this content. I think we can jump into our next example. The next example that we have ready is the auto-generating content. As you can see, the first example was just creating a summary from content that it already exists. Now, what we want to do is generate content automatically. So for example, we are going to use this content type, the meal recipe. Let's go to the meal recipe in here. And as you can see, we have three meal recipes. We have the meatloaf, the cinnamon rolls, and the last one was spaghetti carbonara. As you can see, we only have a title and we have a recipe, but this field is empty. Basically, this is the one that ImpulseSync AI is going to generate this value. We have, it is the same for each one, the cinnamon rolls, and also for the spaghetti carbonara. I think this already finished. We can go to the dashboard. All the jobs already finished. So we can go to the meal recipe and we can see what we are configuring in that content manipulator. This content manipulator basically is using the meal recipe content type. Again, we are using some of the default values from the content manipulators. And then we have the field ID, the recipe. That's the one where we are going to place the result of the prompt. And basically we are saying ingredients and instructions for this recipe. We are asking the AI to create the ingredients and instructions for this specific recipe. And we are sending the title. We are sending, for example, the meatloaf, the cinnamon rolls, and the spaghetti carbonara. Obviously, you can create your prompts as complex as you like. For example, limiting the results that you want, specifying how do you want to act the AI, and stuff like that. But we are using, in this case, very specific and very basic prompts for the AI. Let's go into the meal recipe. And as you can see, it was created 3 or 4 minutes ago. And let's go to each one. The cinnamon rolls, and as you can see, the ingredients in here. And then we have the instructions in here. So everything in here was generated by AI. Also, we have the meatloaf. And also we have the spaghetti carbonara. You can already see all the potential use cases or requirements that this could be solving for your company or for your tool or corporation. Let's go back to the third and final example that we have. This is very specific for content editors or for front-end or web pages, web content editors. And this is the creation of personalization or tags, in this case, for specific troubles. This is a more complex example, but let's take a look on what we are doing in this case. Let's go to travel. So as you can see, we have a content type with a user profile, in this case, food lover. And then we have some locations, some schedule and plans, and some tags. This is the personalization. Basically, we are going to pass the user profile to the AI, and it's going to generate a location or suggest a location. It was also going to look for that travel. It's going to also give me some schedule or plans for that specific travel and that user profile, and also for the tags. So let's go back. We have the food lover, the fitness, and the tech geek. This already also run. Let's go back and take a look. It is not running. It was successfully. And let's take a look to how we can configure this content manipulator. So as you can see, we have the location, what we are sending to prompt, or what we are asking to the AI to create. It is, I want you to act as a content travel agent. I am sending the user profile. In this case, for example, the food lovers, the tech geeks, the fitness enthusiasts. And I am asking to suggest one place for me to visit. And please don't give me any explanations. The second content manipulator for that one, it is going to use what I'm going to create. So I want you to ask as a content travel agent. I am sending the user profile, and now we have the location that we just generated in the first content manipulator. So this is going to send, I am visiting the location that we generated, and then we are going to ask, okay, give me in less than 500 words explaining a reason to the schedule and plans using bullet points. And the last content manipulation that we are going to use, it is for the tags. And we are telling the AI how we want it to act. Then we are going to ask for 5 personalization, comma separated hashtags in a single line. And the context is going to be the user profile, the location, and also the schedule and the plans. So let's go back. This already ran. Let me just go back to the trouble in here. And as you can see, for example, for the food lover, it created a location as Italy. Why Italy? It has its recommendation in here. And then we have a schedule for 10 days. Each of the days has its own schedule and plan. And then we have some conclusion or some summary in there. And as you can see here, it created a list of tags: food lover, Italy eats, Italian cuisine, gastronomic adventures, and taste of Italy. Also, we have the tech geek in here. In this case, we are visiting Silicon Valley, obviously. And then we have the tech geek, Silicon Adventures, Tech Lovers Unite, geeks out in SB and Tech is Paradise, Silicon Valley. And the fitness is going to be Bali. Why Bali? It seems like it is perfect for fitness enthusiasts because of the landscape and everything. So basically we have our schedule and plans. And then also we have our tags in here.